This video was made possible by the EA Creator Network. Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and this time I am building one here in the world of Copperdale, which is the brand new world coming with the Sims 4 High School Years expansion pack, which will be out, I believe, on the 28th of this month. I think I'm correct about that, and that's July 2022 in case you're watching this in the future. So yeah, thank you so much to EA for providing me with an early access copy so I could create this build for you guys a little bit early. I will have it up on the gallery once the pack is released. I was at like a virtual Sims camp with this expansion pack, so that's why you see the watermark on the screen and it's kind of bouncing around. Hopefully it's not too distracting. And yeah, I don't have the pack anymore, and I only had it available with the base game, so this is a base game and high school years only build, and same with the high school that I created. And if you guys didn't see that, I highly recommend that you check it out because it's one of my most favorite builds I've ever done, and I am super proud of it. But yeah, I will have them available, like I said, once the pack is released and I have it available again. And I'll also have all of my other packs available once I have it too, because it'll be in my regular game, and then I will build more family homes and maybe another school. A lot of you guys are saying that you really want to see another school once I have all of the packs, so I'll be planning it and trying to figure out how I can make it different, because I want to do another one, but I really like that one, and I'm trying to think how I could improve and not make it too similar but still really like it. So we'll see what I can come up with. But anyways, for this family home, I originally was going to build this on a different lot, but then I didn't really want to bulldoze any of the family homes because there's already families living there, and there's teenagers that go to the school, and I didn't really think that you guys would want those Sims to have to move, or have to find somewhere else for them to live, or want a new house for them, because the houses that are in the game are actually created by EA Game Changers, and they are Freezer Bunny, Miss Griffey, and Joel 1990. I will have information in the description box so you guys can find their channels, their Twitter accounts, and those sorts of things, so you guys can follow them, and I highly recommend it. They're so talented, and they built all of the community lots and houses and stuff that you see in this world. Besides the school, I believe that was from the Sims team. I don't think any of them created that. I think that was just kind of like a base school from the Sims team. But anyways, yeah, I really just kind of felt guilty bulldozing one of their homes. I mean, I did bulldoze one of their houses for this lot. There was an empty one that I could have probably built on, but I don't know, I really wanted to build here in the dock area because it just looks so cool. And I guess it's not a dock, but it's up on a wooden platform like a dock. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But anyways, there's a new base game wood floor that actually matches the wood flooring around this area, and I'm so happy about it. We never get that. Usually the environmental textures don't come in the actual build and buy catalog, and it's so infuriating because you can't make them look like they match and like they actually belong on the lot. So thankfully they gave us the exact same wood texture, and it looks perfect. And so I was so excited to use it that I built it here. But yeah, I didn't feel as guilty about deleting a starter house because nobody actually lived here. And so I was thinking that this would be the perfect home if you have a family that has, maybe a moderate budget to buy a house, and then they could move here with their two teenagers, because I did decorate this for two parents and then two teenagers. I was thinking that one of them is in maybe the middle of high school, they're maybe 16 years old or something like that, and then the other teen is more 13, just going into high school. I tried including a couple of toys in their room, showing that they're still a little bit younger, but they're very much a teenager, but they're still maybe they haven't gone to high school yet, but they're in middle school probably, but they're definitely growing up and transitioning into their high school years. And so I thought that was kind of fun to maybe play with somebody who's a younger teen and somebody who's an older teen. Of course, teenagers in The Sims 4 are essentially all the same. They don't really change too much. I mean, they're all the same height, but I wish they were a little bit shorter. That would be cool. Maybe if you could gradually age up a little bit, but I don't think preteens are ever going to be a thing in The Sims 4, but I would like it. I just like the idea of it, and it feels so realistic. But anyways, yeah, that's what I decorated the house for. And one of the main things I wanted to do in this house was make a spot for the functioning window. And so there is a window that's coming in this pack that your Sims can actually climb in and out of. So your teens can actually sneak out of the house. And I thought this was going to be so important like for this home. And so I really made sure I had a spot for that. And I decided that I was going to make that spot right next to the oldest teen's bedroom because I just felt like that made a little bit more sense. If you wanted to, you could definitely adjust the roof line to make the other teenager's room accessible to the window because you actually need a ledge for them to climb out on. And I didn't realize this when I was making it, and also furniture doesn't really seem to block it. Like I had a couple of furniture pieces blocking the windows upstairs, and they like were still climbing through the windows when I was play testing it. But you can't actually snap the ladder to the window. It snaps to it when you're building, but they can't climb out of it that way. And so I was a bit confused because when I was building this, it just snapped right to it. So I thought that they could just climb directly out of the window onto the ladder, but they need a ledge to step down onto. So you'll notice in the screenshots that I actually created a little like faux balcony. You won't see it in the speed build because I was just like play testing this and like trial and error over and over trying to get this to function. But basically I just put a little floor next to the window, and then I snapped the ladder to the wall next to it and then put a fence around it. But the fence that I used is from the live edit objects, so the Sims don't actually know that it's there, so they can just climb through it and it still looks like the balcony is completely fenced in, and we can just pretend they climb over it down onto the ladder. Hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully it's not too confusing, but yeah, it does work though. And they'll climb down into that little area that I fenced off with like the trash cans and stuff, and then they could sneak out that way. And yeah, it seemed to work just fine. Although I would say maybe lock the other windows because the other windows do lead to the front balcony and they can climb out there too. And they can climb out the other window that I put the nightstand in front of. And so I would definitely lock that one so they're not like climbing through the nightstand. I don't know why they did it, but anyways, it was very interesting playtesting this build, but I would highly recommend just locking that one at least so they climb out the right window so it doesn't look so weird, because that one I purposely didn't put anything in front of and they still climbed through the one that had furniture in front of it. It was so weird, but I guess that's gameplay for you. Anyways, the exterior of this house is complete and I'm moving on to the interior. Basically, my idea for this interior was to really make something that looked like a regular family home. And I thought these couches were perfect because they look just like some old couch that a family might have. And I guess they liked the couch so much that they decided to buy 2 of them in the exact same size. I wish that we would get like love seat versions of the couches we've been getting. It seems like either we get a love seat or a full-size couch, but never like a full set in any pack. There's like several different couches in this pack, but none of them are a full set. So it's kind of disappointing, but either way, I do like this couch. I think it's super cute. I like the throw on it. I like the pillows. It just makes it look so comfy. And I thought it was a really nice couch to have in an interior of a family home like this one. It just seems like a regular family house. They don't have a lot of money, but they're not poor by any means. They're just like a regular middle-class family home, or family, I guess. And the house isn't perfect or pristine. Like I tried to include laundry. So there's a couple of like laundry decorations that came in this pack. One that has like laundry piled up in this hamper. And so I put one in the hallway next to the bathroom. And then I put one in the teenager's room. I also put the base game laundry basket decoration on the coffee table, just to kind of show that they're kind of been in the middle of chores. And I also used like the laundry pile that you can, you know, just looks like it's thrown on the floor. I put one on the staircase and I put one on the floor in the parents' room, just to show that they've been busy and cleaning up clothes isn't like their #1 priority. And I just thought that made it feel so much more lived in. And this is the laundry basket decoration that I was talking about. So it's just like a little hamper with clothes spilling out of it. And then down here I do have a full-size bathroom, and literally right above it is the exact same bathroom. I just copied over the room identically. I just cloned it and then placed it in the exact same space. I just didn't think I could really do anything different, or didn't really want to. I wanted to focus on the rest of the build, so that's what I did. And then here in the kitchen, you'll see the new tile that's coming with the expansion pack. I actually really like this tile a lot, and there's so many different variations of it that have different corner pieces and different colors and different sort of designs. So you can get really creative with it, with like your placement. If you wanted to rotate it using the plus or minus key, you can also get quarter of a tile with the control F key, and then you can have more precise placement. So yeah, there's a lot of different possibilities. But in here, we didn't get a kitchen set with this pack, which I wasn't expecting, so I used this one. I thought this looked like an old 90s style kitchen with like the honey wood color, and then the The tile looks pretty 90s too, so I thought that was perfect. I really wanted this to kind of feel like more of like a 90s era family home. Not that it's necessarily set in the 90s, but it's a little bit outdated, so that's how I wanted it to feel. And in here I just included a stove, a microwave, a coffee pot, a refrigerator, I think all of the necessities, and I added a few clutter pieces, but I was really trying to keep this home pretty basic when it came to like the living area, just to make it nice and functional and not too cluttered, and also not too expensive. I really didn't want to bring up the price. I mean, I didn't look at the price, I wasn't too focused on it, but I knew if I was going to add like a bunch of decorations and a bunch of clutter, it would really drive up the price. But that being said, I didn't hold back and try to make it like feel empty. And it has actually some pretty expensive items now that I think about it. Like the stove, I think is one of the most expensive stoves. It's not the most expensive. The most expensive one is like the futuristic looking one, I believe. But anyways, over here is going to be the first teens room. I decided to use this bed and I just thought it was so cute in here. I love this swatch, and I put two of them next to each other just because I feel like the single beds look so skinny because they're only one tile wide, and I feel like in comparison with the rest of the furniture, it just like the proportions of it seem kind of weird. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but that's just how I feel. So I put two of them next to each other, and I think it looks so cute this way. And then, I just basically tried to find different decorations that I thought suited this space. I tried to use a lot of the furniture pieces that came with the wooden set that has like a little bit more of like a worn wood texture to it. But I didn't use only items from that set. So I tried to mix and match the furniture pieces just to make it feel a little bit more realistic. And we got a new clutter piece here for the floor. Unfortunately though, I did notice that the Sims could not walk over it. So hopefully this will be something that the Sims team can change before the release of the pack, because this is not final software. This is an early version of the expansion pack. So things are going to change and be updated and hopefully improved before the release. And that's one of the things I would like to see, because I feel like it's such a cool item and I want to use it all of the time, but if it blocks things from being used, it makes it a lot harder to use. But in here I also use that really cool plaid chair and a bunch of posters. Here I'm adding some different curtains because I felt like I needed to add a bit more personality, and I ended up using some with this interesting pattern, and I thought this was pretty cool because I felt like it looks like something maybe the teenager would have picked out themselves, because it matches nothing in the room, but it's so bold and so fun that I felt like it just looks like something a teenager would pick out. And then over here, I really wasn't sure which like theme I wanted to go for. The other teen room I feel like is very much like a generic teenager's room. Like I didn't go for any specific personality necessarily or any specific hobby. Like I kind of felt like that teenager probably has a part-time job, they hang out with their friends, probably get in a little bit of trouble because they sneak out of their house, maybe go to some parties, but they're not like a bad kid at all. They're just a little bit rebellious and kind of test the limits and boundaries, which I think a lot of teenagers do. But for this teen's room, I decided that they wanted to be very much an athlete, and so they're very much into sports, because with this new pack we are getting football, cheerleading, and we got tons of sports related posters, so I thought this was a good theme to go for. And then you'll also see that I end up adding like a few toys in here because, like I said, I did think that this teen is more of like a preteen. They're like just transitioning from like middle school into high school, and so they're preparing for it, and they really want to be like the athlete star of the school basically. And I think their sibling is like not interested in that sort of thing at all. They could care less probably about any sports events at the school. They probably could care less about like prom and anything like that. Maybe they like secretly desire to go to prom, but they would never tell anybody. I don't know, did you guys go to prom? Let me know. I never went. I was never invited and I never tried to go. I just was not interested. Maybe I was secretly interested, but I don't know. I don't think so. I remember being pretty outspoken about not really wanting to go. I had a boyfriend at the time, and he didn't ask me, and we didn't go. We ended up going to a party instead. So that's what I did when my senior prom came. I don't remember about junior prom. I just don't even think I paid attention to it. Just not my thing, I guess. I didn't go to like a lot of school dances, but let me know what you guys did. If you guys went to prom, maybe you guys were really into those sorts of activities at school. But anyways, over here is going to be the parents' bedroom. The parents' bedroom is pretty simply decorated, but again, I was just adding clutter and trying to make it feel lived in and cozy and like a parents' bedroom, and I really do like it. So yeah, this is it for the build. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys enjoy the screenshots. Again, thank you so much to EA for providing me with this so I could create this build for you guys a little bit early. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care in the world. I was one rich little girl, daydreamer, kidnap me, take me back, all the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot. No mistake ever kept me late. We spent summers catching fireflies and winters on our skates. One big smile across my face. We used to dance our way to church on Sundays. Mama set the pace. Daydream.